I do. Well, thanks for joining us today, and thank you ever so much for sharing your story with other customers. I know they'll find it really, really useful. Can you cast your mind back to when you thought about this room and created this space, and tell us about your plans?
Yeah. So we built a garden room about 10 years ago onto our house as an extension. And we mainly use it as a sort of breakfast room and as a lunch sort of dining room. And we put a lovely big roof lantern in, and we were basically finding at lunch we were absolutely blinded by the sun coming through. We couldn't see each other, so we all had to wear sunglasses inside, which wasn't very convivial. And it's just got hotter and hotter over the years with, well, sadly, global warming. So we were finding we needed to find a solution. It's a huge roof lantern, and we were looking at various options. We were looking at getting little blinds that went on each window, and we felt that wasn't going to work because they were probably going to break, and they're hard to sort of put up and down. And then, yeah, my husband actually found, well, you guys basically, and thought it looked like a good solution. So that was the start of our journey, I suppose.
Well, thank you, and thank you for contacting Window Treat. And obviously, we're delighted your husband found us. How did you
Yeah,
find the experience with Chris? I guess you had a
yeah,
video testimonial, not video testimonial, a video uh,
yeah.
call with Chris.
We
And
had, yeah, a
can you explain a little bit
one-on-one.
about that?
Yeah, we had a one-on-one call with Chris, and then he came down to visit and talk us through what the options were, give us the different fabrics that we could use. And obviously, yes, we looked at lots of previous customers' testimonials and at the other work that you'd done, basically. And it gave us a really good idea of what ours would end up looking like. I was a bit concerned about the sort of impact of the size of the blind and whether it would work. So yeah, it was reassuring to see that you'd obviously had quite a few customers prior to us.
Yeah, and to share, the size of this roof lantern, it's actually a twin Athena roof
Yeah,
lantern blind that you've got. There's two
yeah.
blinds that meet in the middle.
Exactly, yes. And we one of my main concerns is we've got roof lights that hang down below, so I wasn't sure if it was going to work with the space. But actually we've managed to, again with Chris advising us, we pulled up the lights so that they're above the roof lantern. And it means that the run along the top it's very discreet. We don't have to. I'm sorry, I'm looking up at it now. That's why I'm looking up. It's very discreet. It's very smooth. It's very quiet. It blocks out the light. It's been really hot last week. It's a bit more overcast today, but the last week or 2 weeks where it's been really, really sunny, we've noticed a huge difference basically. And just walking into the room, you can feel it's a lot cooler as well.
Well, that's wonderful news. Did you look
Mm.
at you looked at many blinds going across and thought that wouldn't work? Did you look at any other options?
Well, I think, yeah, like I mentioned, we were looking at little small blinds that would work on each individual window, and we just thought it was going to get complicated and there was a higher chance of breakage, which, I mean, having seen previous people with that option and flies, and it all looked like it would get a bit sort of unpleasant if I'm honest. So this just seemed like a cleaner, neater solution than lots of small blinds on rollers and that had the option to break and us trying to get up to it and not be able to. So yeah, it just seemed like a much more efficient solution.
Great. And the installation, do you recall, was the installation smooth? How did you find the installation team?
Yeah, it worked quite well. I mean, we've got aside from Chris and his team, we've got a great set of builders who came in and uh, worked the electrics in as per the instructions that Chris had given. And that all seemed to go very smoothly. And then when it came to the actual installation, it didn't take long at all. It was, a question of a day, basically. So yeah, it all happened very quickly once we sort of put the plan in action. So yeah, delighted. One day no blinds, the next blinds, and all tidy and neat. So yeah, it was great.
It sounds like you got it in time for the heat wave that we've had.
Yes, yeah, it's been really hot recently, so we have really been making full use of it. Today is actually genuinely the first day I've opened them since we've had them, because it has been 2 weeks of scorching heat, and walking in here before you could hardly breathe because the sun had just completely warmed up the room so much. So now the room is a lot cooler and we can actually sit and enjoy meals in here and not be dazzled by the sun. And then have all the doors open as well with the breeze coming through. So it's been really lovely.
Oh, that's wonderful news, Doune. And I've got one last question for you. The $1 million question is, would you recommend window treats to friends and family?
Yes, absolutely. It's been a very easy, straightforward process. Everyone's been very helpful, very efficient. It does what it says on the tin, so to speak. And there's been, there's been no hiccups at all. So it's been great.
Oh, that's music to my ears, Doune. Thank you.
Pleasure.
And that's it.
That's it. Do you want me to show the blind? Do you want me to do that?
That would be a lovely thing to do, and other customers will be able to see what you have.
Yeah. See if I can.
But I won't interrupt because otherwise the camera will spin. Oh wow, this is stunning.
Yeah. So I've tried to pull the blind up a bit so that you can actually see it working, if that makes sense. I can turn it on if that helps.
Yes, please.
So if I stand out the way, it's off. Oh, set the sunlight. Ironic with the light.
Don't worry.
There we go. They're almost done. There we are. Job done.
And
we
Doune,
are.
could we see them open again? Because that
Sure.
sunlight might be magical to see as well.
Yeah, the revelation. Hold on. And there it is.
Thank you, Doune.
Yes, no problem.